Theodora Corvus can hear the whispers of her crumbling family home. She can hear the whispers of Kingsward Manor, her place of employment. She sees the watchers by the lake, black-eyed and waiting. But Broken Oak is silent. Broken Oak is empty. When Theodora takes the job as governess to young Ottiline Thorne, she leaves behind her beloved grandmother and the decaying ruins of her childhood home to travel far north to Broken Oak Manor. There, she finds a house filled with secrets. Under the stern eye of the foreboding housekeeper, Theodora quickly navigates the dark and winding corridors of Broken Oak, only to find herself irrevocably drawn to the mysterious lord of the manor. But someone walks the hallways late after nightfall, their footsteps leading to the attic, the only place in the sprawling house that does not remain silent. As her scandalous feelings for Cassius Thorne grow, Theodora fights to unearth the secrets of Broken Oak. Who wanders the house at night? Where is the lady of the manor? What lies behind the attic door high up under the eaves of the house? Where is Lady Thorne, Cassius? Where is your wife? Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Heir's Lair. I'm your host, Jonathan Taylor. After what I've had to endure in order to put last week's review out, I thought I would go for a little bit of a palate cleanser this week, and namely look for a new release by an author I am already acquainted with through from my work within this with this channel, or for this channel, and with that goal in mind, I stumbled across The Quiet Stillness of Empty Houses by Lydia V. Russell. This is her fourth book I've reviewed this year, so that might just be a record for indie authors. Anyway, the TLDW for the review is this book is a wonderful breath of fresh air and a staggering tribute to Gothic romance books from days of old. It is written in a rich, vivid, and luscious style, teeming with descriptions, and with a lot of care and attention given to how all the characters also come across. It has been very interesting to read through it. If you want to know nothing else about it, if what I've said so far about it sounds interesting enough to you and you would like to know nothing else, then I suggest you stop this video, go out and acquire this book in any form you find most convenient, and then just read it. You will definitely not be disappointed. If, however, you would like to know more before committing your time and your money, well, the rest of this video should suit your needs. The main plot of this book follows Theodora Corvus, a young lady from the lower nobility who has confronted death, or more precisely decay, about as often as she has experienced the light. She accepts a job as a governess for a lord's daughter, and through this new assignment, she travels to this new house and gets to know both it and its residents quite well. She learns that there are some secrets dwelling within it, and searches to uncover them, to learn what they are. I won't go too deep into her journey or her findings, because I have a minimal spoiler policy, but I do want to mention some things I'm not particularly fond of when it comes to the storytelling of this book. Namely, the fact that the last one or two chapters, I'll say, are somewhat redundant. There is still some story progression and some character progression that occurs there, but I really don't find it particularly necessary given the rest of this book and how that was built up. I do have to specify here that there is a twist within this book, and that twist uh, I'll grant this to Lydia, because that twist neither comes out of left field nor is entirely predictable. However, I still don't think it really suits the story. I think more could have been done to really emphasize it and give it the narrative weight that it actually originally deserves. So, if I were to make improvements on this book, that is where I would that is where I would work. Where I would make sure that where I'm not necessarily within the twist itself, but make sure that the build up to it is a little bit smoother and a little bit easier, more engaging to follow through with. Nevertheless, the characterization is done quite well. As the main character, obviously Theodora is the most is the character the readers will get to know best, and Lydia does a lot to utilize the fact that the readers will be in her head all the time, so they get to know a lot about her impressions, her observations, and what it is that she finds interesting or intriguing, and also why it is that she finds these particular things, the particular things she finds intriguing, to actually be intriguing. Like there is a lot done in this in this young lady's mental wiring to figure out why she is the way she is, and that is all handled in a very rewarding manner, at least for the readership. Her charge, Ottiline, at least I assume that's how that name is spoken, receives, I'll say, similar levels of attention and is presented in a very captivating and engaging manner. She comes across as a very authentically written child character who has her own distinct desires and inner world and imagination capabilities, which I have to say has been very rewarding to read through. Other characters do not receive as much page time as these two, but the page time they do receive does do enough to really showcase who they are as people. I do have to say that the twist does to some extent influence their characterization, especially if these characters are actually involved in the twist. But still, even with the twist in mind, the story overall still works, and the characterization overall is still done quite competently, quite intriguingly. What really helps sell this book, what really helps make it that much more memorable, however, is its world building, or more precisely, how effectively it uses its page time to describe what makes each location within the setting distinctive. As a reference point, about the first quarter of the book is spent with Theodora at her childhood home, and within that first quarter, that childhood home, Woodrow Manor, becomes very fleshed out and as much of a character as the people who occupy it. It is its features, its age, how and their reciprocal influences are explored quite well, as well as how the house itself has an influence upon its residents, which is very intriguing to follow. Other similar houses receive the same kind of attention, though somewhat proportioned to the actual time that the book itself devotes within each of them. As such, Broken Oak Manor, where most of the story takes place, is given the lion's share of both attention and description. And Lydia knows just how to use that page time. Knows just how to point her audience's attention to every feature of interest within Broken Oak Manor, allowing her readers to get a great idea, not necessarily or not just of the layout of the house, but also its size, its colors, its textures, its sounds, even its smells. Like I said, Lydia knows how to use perceptions, and she is able to give just as much information as she needs to, exactly when she needs to, in order to help fill out the setting and help make the environment come across as vivid and authentic. And to that, I can only say that that she has done a very admirable job with with her world building efforts. Overall, while I do acknowledge that this book has some faults, they are quite minimal, and they do nothing to hide or impact its strengths, which are primarily characterized by the rich and vivid descriptions that Lydia manages to bring to the setting, and the attention with which she handles these impressions, not just for the readers, but also for the characters within the story. My final rating for The Quiet Stillness of Empty Houses is a 4 out of 5. And that was my review. Thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, maybe even share this video wherever you think other people will like it as well. If there is anything you'd like to add to this video, well, that's what the comment section is for, whether it be about the review or the book itself. And if you want to see when my next video gets released, well then please subscribe. And ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. My own book, Heir to the Empire: The Next Generation, is available at most major book retailers under a master link in the description down below, right past my social media links, which I also suggest you check out should you choose to. You'll also find my Patreon listed down there in case you want to support me more directly, and maybe even receive perks such as early access to videos and scripts, both for this channel and my second channel, because yes, I also have a second channel. Until next time, I am Jonathan Taylor, and this has been The Heir's Lair.